Hello everyone, this is Chadi Alraies from SCAI-TV in Phoenix. I'm really privileged today to be with Dr. Huded. He's the first early career recipient of the early career grant from SCAI. Dr. Huded, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So Chetan, as you mentioned, you heard the announcement online, and I want you to just walk us through how did you hear about it and how did you apply?
Yeah, so actually it was very good timing. So last summer, one of our fellows and I were interested in starting a project looking at intracoronary imaging during PCI, and he said, you know, there's a grant on the SCAI website that is perfect for what we're doing, and they're giving grant for early career researchers, which, you know, I fit into that group, and application process is very straightforward, and, you know, I think we'd have a good chance. So we submitted through the website, you know, funded by SCAI through Abbott, and yeah, and we got it. So we were very fortunate for that.
Congratulations. So tell us about your project and what was the proposal?
So the proposal, so we've, for a few years I've had this interest of studying variability in the use of intracoronary imaging during PCI. You know, we know that intracoronary imaging improves outcomes for patients. You know, certainly technically when we're doing the procedure, I always prefer to image because I think it gives me so much more information than using angiography alone. So anecdotally we know it helps. The data is showing increasingly that it improves outcomes, both short-term, long-term outcomes.
Correct.
But you know, there's multiple studies showing it's just not used as much as we would expect. So we wanted to study, are there factors that drive the variability in use between hospitals? You know, in hospital A, you may get imaging-guided PCI, in hospital B you don't. And is there a way of understanding which factors drive that? So we used the nationwide readmission database to get a large, fairly representative population in the U.S. The data we're working with is over half the U.S. discharges from a pretty contemporary time frame. And we created a stepwise approach to modeling. So we said, if we're going to add in procedural factors, patient factors, and hospital factors, and see if as we adjust for these various factors, can we bring the variability in IC imaging use down? Mm-hmm. If the variability comes down as you adjust for the factors, it indicates that the factors are accounting for the variability. So, for instance, you could imagine if you add end-stage renal disease to a model or advanced chronic kidney disease to a model, and all of a sudden the variability goes way down, okay, well, hospitals are using it in a rational way. They're using it more selectively in patients with poor renal function to limit contrast eye, and you can make a story and understand that. If you find that the variability does not change, then it starts to raise bigger questions about, is the variability justified? Is it random? Is it preference? Is it driven by other things like cost and training and time constraints?
Which is, you don't have, it's going to be a stipulation more than a good...
Yeah, there has to be some, then it starts raises the question for the reason. So what are the reasons that we're seeing so much variability? Yeah. So the project is to understand, one, how much variability is there? Are there ways to understand the variability and use that as a springboard for future efforts to try to raise the level of quality, increase the use of imaging? I don't want to say standardize because people sort of don't like the idea of standardizing it, but to raise the expectation that imaging is helpful and maybe essential to perform really good quality PCI, both short-term and long-term. Absolutely,
and we have enough data and trials has been done proving that you can change the sizing as well as optimize your PCI with it.
And now these days it's getting into the guidelines too. It's a 2B recommendation. We have, like you said, multiple trials. So the evidence is there. Now we need to change behavior.
Absolutely, and the behavior is going to give you a signal from this project if this is a behavior issue or education or a knowledge gap.
Or maybe we find, I mean, I know what we found, we'll show it tomorrow, but you know, this process of trying to find where the variability lies is the whole purpose of this study.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations, Chetan, for being the first recipient of the grant. Please watch these videos and other SCAI-TV. This is Chadi Alraies from Phoenix, SCAI 2023, and stay tuned for a new announcement for the SCAI grant that's going to be coming up in a few months. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.